Yeah, so it's a little weird doing these live posts and looking at yourself on the screen. And I kind of want to look down at the screen and not at the camera. But anyway, I'll do my best. Um, Yesterday, or actually, I think it was the day before, I was mowing the lawn actually and listening to Christian Station on Pandora. And there was an ad. I don't even know what the ad was for, but it was talking about something about these times that we're in, current times, and that it's okay to not be okay. And I've heard that phrase before, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought maybe I'd share something about it. And then I wasn't sure, and I kind of prayed about it a little bit. And then later that afternoon or evening, actually, I was looking at Facebook, and a memory came up on my Facebook memories, and 3 years ago on that day, the 21st, so what was that? That was yesterday. Um, I had a thing posted, and one of the tags was, "It's okay to not be okay." So I felt like it was a little bit of a confirmation for me to just share this. And um, I didn't write down any notes, so I hope I don't get too distracted and wander all over the place. But anyway, you get bored, you can stop watching. That's okay. I won't ever know. It is okay to not be okay, and I think at the moment the where we're at globally, um, there's a lot of new catchphrases, the new normal and things like that, and it's a big adjustment, and a lot of us aren't okay, and that is okay. But the point that I want to make today, and part of my journey, is that it's okay to be okay, but it's not okay to stay that way. And I think for myself, thinking back over my life, and the journey I've been on in the last year or so, which a lot of you know, my journey last year and the deep, really, really deep depression that I fell into. I like to call it the pit or the well, because it was a vision that the Lord gave me, was me at the bottom of an empty well. Anyway, and then the the healing and deliverance that I experienced. But there's a lot that led up to that, which isn't so much what I want to go into today, but for a long time I wasn't okay, except I didn't know that I wasn't okay, especially in my teen years. Um, when I think the clinical side of my depression began, I wasn't okay, but I didn't know. I didn't know that how I felt and the things I experiencing, not that they weren't normal, because I think to some extent they were normal. It's just that they weren't healthy. Um, I thought that everybody woke up every day dreading the day. I thought that everybody kind of hated living. I thought that everybody just couldn't wait to get to the end of the day and sleep, because sleep was, kind of like oblivion. You just didn't have to think when you were sleeping. It was just escape from the reality, which was just, for me, it was miserable. Not that I never had any good moments, but the foundation was that I just was unhappy and miserable, and I thought it was normal. So I actually wasn't okay, but I didn't know that I wasn't okay. And then as I got older and life changed and I had kids, and I think having kids for me made the depression worse. I think I had what would be postpartum, except I never got out of it. It was like maybe this is a healthy way of living, and I was living down at this level with depression, and then with each child I think I sank further down, and I never kind of got back up. Um, I realized that not being okay I acknowledged that I wasn't okay, except I couldn't get help. I admitted that I wasn't okay, um, and I sought help, but I couldn't get the help I needed. And I think if you're in a place now where you are acknowledging that you're not okay, whether it's a temporary not okay with all that's going on with lockdowns and loss of jobs, or just the frustration of, like, for me, the remote learning is really difficult. I struggle with Rosie with that. She is struggling with me. I mean, I'm her mommy. I'm not her teacher, and so I try and teach her something, and she doesn't really want to listen, and it's, frustration, and I want her to get her work done, and I want to be able to submit it. And so whether it's a temporary thing, or you might be like me, where I had this hand up, this is probably healthy living and you're functioning down here, and now circumstances are, kind of shoving you even under. It's really important to acknowledge it, and it's really important to speak out about it. And self-advocating is something that I wanted to share. That in my journey, I had to fight really hard to get the help that I needed. And I did have people along the way that were willing to help, but they didn't always know how to help. And that can be a really hard and tiring thing to do. But I just want to encourage you to acknowledge, yeah, it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay that way. And go ahead and cry out for help and say, I'm not okay. I think this okay is temporary. Or you could say, I've not been okay for a long time. I need somebody to help me. And then don't give up if the help doesn't come the way you think, or the way you want, or as quick as you want. Now, I started to go for professional help, I think it was almost 11 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago. I think it's 11 now. And I was put on medication immediately, which did have an immediate effect, positive effect, but it wasn't always perfect. And over the course of 10 years, my medication changed fairly often. We constantly went through tweaking and dealing with side effects. So, one side effect from last year and going through the pit, living in the pit, I took one medication that made my hair fall out in fistfuls. So, I lost almost half of my hair. My ponytail was like really, really thin. So now it's growing out, and I'm dealing with a lot of, let's see, this is all backwards in the camera, dealing with a lot of frizz now. So this is like normal hair, but all along there's all these like shorter lengths, and some of that is gray hair, which adds to the frizz. But some of it is just new hair that's growing out, and so I'm super grateful for the new hair. But see how short some of it is? So I'm very grateful it's growing out. Uh, but my point is, let's just make myself beautiful again. My point is, things don't always happen the way we want. And we have to keep pushing on. We have to keep pressing in. And yeah, so I guess I really just want to encourage you that it's okay to not be okay. It's not okay to stay that way. So I think really spend some time self-evaluating, spend some time maybe journaling, jotting things down, jot down the things that trigger you, jot down if you can't find a trigger, and then seek help. Um, if you are like maybe in a fishbowl, kind of like I am, where being in the church, and you feel just like I can't be vulnerable and open in this place or in this atmosphere. There's so much online helplines and stuff that at least might be a starting point, a place where they can connect you to somebody who can help you a little bit more one-on-one. Yeah, when I was thinking through this ahead of time last night and this morning, I was so eloquent and I just had such beautiful, eloquent words. And now I see I'm almost at 10 minutes and I'm like, and I even had scripture I wanted to share and I can't remember now what the scripture was. I don't know. I just want to say it's okay to not be okay. It's not okay to stay that way. Self-advocate, fight hard. Don't stop crying out to the Lord. Don't stop crying out for help. It will come. It might be the hardest journey you ever face. For me, my life was on the line. It was a journey of life and death. And I was on that precipice so many times. Um, but the Lord was gracious. I had people who were around me who eventually heard the cries and the screams and for help, and I eventually got it. Just don't give up. Don't be afraid to cry out, and don't feel like I'm stuck. Don't feel like there's no way out. This is it for me. This is all there is. There is so much more. Life is never going to be easy. Life is never going to be smooth sailing, but it can be better than it is. I don't think my life is easy, but I operate from a place of peace, a peace that just surpasses any words or understanding. And that makes it then bearable. That makes the not okay okay because when you operate from a sense of peace, I don't know, it's just like a firm foundation to jump and platform and off of. So yeah, I really want to encourage you with that. Share this as much as you want if you found it helpful. I am very available to help. I'm available to connect you if I'm not somebody that you might feel comfortable with, but I can connect you or try and connect you with somebody who can help you. Um, I really like a song by Lauren Daigle. It's Rosie's favorite song at the moment, called Rescue. And she sings this one line. Um, sorry, I've got to sing it through my head quickly. I hear your whisper. I hear your SOS. And sometimes that's all we can do. Sometimes we can't scream. Sometimes we can't um, cry out loudly. But God hears even the whisper. He hears the SOS. I know that's not, like a verse from a Bible. It's a verse or a line from a song, but I just think it reflects God's truth. So yeah, that's my encouragement for you today. It's okay to not be okay. It's just not okay to stay that way. Seek help. And if there's something I can do, please let me know. I pray God's richest blessings over you. Know that you're not alone. I, and many others have gone through it, and we just want a better life for you. Okay, take care, everybody. God bless you. Bye bye.